Yeah. Do we? Oh, we hit the button. We're live. If he requested it, I think I got to do it. We'll get a little Rick Derringer up.
That'd be phenomenal.
Here we go.
That's phenomenal. It's phenomenal that you have it on playlist.
Oh hell yeah! I just have it. I have everything, all this stuff ready to go. And if I can't find it, I can find it on YouTube, which is awesome.
You're hired for Gimmick Freeze events.
Excellent. I would take it if I could get there. I'd fucking take it. Trust me.
I got you a ride down there. You're good.
Excellent. It starts off with a Kennedy speech, and then pictures of baby Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
The music video is awesome. You really have to. Hulk Hogan Real American HD official video. It's like baby pictures of Hulk Hogan.
Guitar in it?
He's playing bass at like 18 years old, and then they hard cut to current day, whatever, 1985 Hulk Hogan with his fucking Alpina shades, an American flag guitar, American flag draped behind him, and just rocking out on his guitar.
Hold on, boys. I'll be back. Let's see as you're doing this.
I would rip this shirt, but I really like it and it's comfortable, so I'm not going to rip the shirt.
You need to rip the shirt.
If somebody replaces it, I'll rip it. But we are live. We're having too much fun before we even roll the credits. This is the War Report brought to you by TagMeADate.com. I'm your host from Northeast Wrestling, Vince Barry. I'm the ring announcer, and I'm your host for this evening. We're live every Tuesday. Oh, he's got the action figure. Here we go. The music video really is a thing to behold if you look at the Real American video.
If you're listening to Real American, you have to see the Real American video.
It's still the moon landing and everything else.
I'm afraid to admit it.
I'm a Hulkamaniac. I don't give a shit.
Can we talk about the fact that Hulk Hogan has a size 10 penis, but Terry Bollea does not?
Jesus, brother. Jesus, brother.
Yeah, he's the greatest thing ever.
Like, he's really trying to explain, like, Hulk Hogan and Terry are two different people. It's wonderful.
You gotta clear yourself from any perjury possible.
The 10-inch python? Is that what it's called?
Brother. Oh, man. So, of course, we have Charlie Armstrong here from Gimmick Tree. He told us some very interesting things before we hit the little button to go live. And now that we're live, maybe he'll share some of these on the air. I
guess not. Due to legal circumstances, I have been advised. I'm having somebody behind me or in front of me right now waving no. I've kicked them out of the office so I can talk to you guys.
Oh, great. I guess it goes without saying that this and every episode is dedicated to our buddy Stu, who's no longer with us. And also a brief shout-out to Zobes and Steve, who had birthdays this weekend, one after another. So happy birthday to our Tag Me a Date crew. And it's been a heck of a past week, I guess, because you've got all kinds of news. Charlie's got all kinds of news. We've got our spreadsheet full of stuff. I don't even know where to start. Somebody tell me where to start. I don't know. Just too much.
Say we got so much to cover. Let's go right into the Freeman 5 and get to it.
Let's do it to it. What show was that from?
Let's do this like Brutus.
All right, well, I'm going to get my sound thing up on the iPad
Rutting
here.
and cutting.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched Edge and Christian's show, it's pretty good on the network.
I enjoyed the stuff I've seen of it.
The first episode was okay, and then the rest of them get better, and then they have a March Madness episode you got to see, because they have all the bad gimmicks, and then they have, like, Stardust and Edge and Christian go to, like, a kindergarten and pull up pictures of, like, Duke the Dumpster and all these different wrestlers, the Boogeyman and shit, and asking the kids about it. Christian puts up a picture of Gilbert, and he goes, I had to put this guy over. And a little kid goes, that doesn't make any sense. And Christian goes, that's what I said.
On last night's show, they referenced Emma's little shoplifting thing.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they said something about, like, they're talking about recipes that, like, you know what's going to happen? This recipe, now that it's out, it could be stolen. Yeah, like, and then they said, she might steal it.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
and then Edge goes, yeah, I heard she does that. I'm like, oh my god.
And the Bullet Club thing?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Also, Sonny got pissed over that last bit.
Because they said instead of fake cancer, it said cake fancer on the thing, so they could, like, skirt around saying it. But basically, they're accusing Sonny of last year when she was in the hospital for cancer treatments or whatever, of falsifying that. I have no idea. I'm not a doctor, and like I said, we don't have any lawyers here, but we have at least 2 Jews, and that should be enough. Right. I'm not going to say anything about whether or not she actually had cancer. I'm just saying what happened between those guys. They can fight that shit out.
Oh, I didn't say anything about that. I just remember her getting pissed
No,
about
she
it.
got mad. Yeah, she got mad because they implied that she faked her
words,
cancer diagnosis. She did. She was mean about him, too. She was like, they're just jealous because I never paid any attention to him. Oh, she's a lovely person. You need to follow her on Facebook. It is a ride.
Tammy Sitch on Twitter is phenomenal.
Not as good as the Iron Sheik, though.
My favorite thing in the world is that I'm friends with Rob Feinstein and Tammy Sitch on Facebook. My life will never be boring. Like, these two people, endless entertainment.
Feinstein, I love Brother to death, and I'll go to the gates of the hell with Rob and kick Satan in the mouth for Rob. But the other day, he goes to Atlantic City, wins $6,000, puts it on Facebook, and he's holding his mouth open like this, and like biting into the money. And I'm like, I'm waiting for anyone to comment on that. And it's not going to be a good comment. I probably messaged Brother and was like, brother, do you really want to put you opening your mouth that wide open on Facebook, knowing the stories? I'm just saying, Rob.
Yeah. Brother. Photoshop? Like, any...
Brother.
That's going to definitely be photo. Yeah, thank you, sir.
So bad. I don't want to look at it because then I'll be tempted to do it, and I don't dislike him. I just think it would be funny for a gag. I love
Brother to death. I love Brother to death. Did you guys see
if you saw that picture, you'd click like.
Did you guys see the one of Dreamer that Dreamer had on his Twitter that he sent out to people?
Yeah, that's going to be on Edge and Christian show, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was disturbing.
Of the Intercontinental belt? Or the World ECW belt?
Like the way Sean did it for Playgirl? Yeah.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
He did the George Costanza across the bearskin rug, too.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, it's great for me. It's great for me because I have him July 30th. They keep showing him on the network and continue showing Tommy Dreamer on the network every day. Oh, by the way, all wrestling fans, July 30th, Ziggy's Wilmington, North Carolina. Be there. Only wrestling promotion in Wilmington. Side notes. Cheap part. Sorry.
Wilmington, North Carolina. All right. I guess we'll get right into the Freedom 5 because there's a I guess we have Charlie's story time as part of our Freedom 5 this week, I believe.
God help us to be the last Charlie story time when the Warriors get this one.
Oh no. That would be bad because we would, we'd like you to come on and like bring on people like Jason Kincaid and and other guys. It would be great. We don't want you to get arrested, so don't get arrested.
I don't think the cheap motherfuckers in Tennessee can afford to pay their bills. They can't afford to pay fucking lawyers. That's called a teaser. But let Eric continue with this Freeman 5.
Eric, we got to do our intro for the Freeman 5. It's our 5 topics every week, curated by a resident Jew, one of them, Eric Friedman. And again, it's the big 5 topics for this week. Where's the button?
Right. You're gonna get a 5 count. Do you hear that? You're gonna get a 5 count.
3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. Just give me more.
All right, Eric, and the floor is yours, sir.
All right, as always, presented by Bootio Cereal.
That's great.
It'll make sure you ain't booty. So.
They're the only thing I really like right now on that program, so I'm glad they're doing well.
I love the fact they made a box.
We got Roadblock that just happened a couple days ago. Even though it didn't need to happen and there was missed opportunities, the matches themselves were decent, so we can talk about that. We can talk about Raw. A lot of stuff went down on Raw. Apparently the Hall of Fame will not get a physical location in Universal like we thought it would.
That.
A little disappointed, but now I'm like, okay, good. I don't have to go to WrestleMania, but even though I probably will anyway.
It's a lot closer than Dallas.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We got Jacqueline going in the Hall of Fame. We could talk about the Kennedy thing, and then of course Charlie's story time, which is always entertaining. Always entertaining.
I love how this was added. I swear to God, this was just added for anybody.
This is improv.
Don't worry, we'll change all the names.
We're gonna need to make this.
Oh, I'm not changing. I ain't changing a goddamn name.
Okay, well, this may or may not be the last time you see Charlie on our podcast for legal reasons, but we're gonna have fun anyway.
Next time I'll just wear a mask. Don't worry about it. I'll do the Dusty Rhodes gimmick. I'll do the masked rider. I'll come in, do a spot, and leave.
You'll be
have a little. You just get the little black one. Don't even get a big one. Just get a little black one and a teeny little cowboy hat, and it would just be
the
wonderful.
Nightwing.
Yeah, just like you look like Darkwing Duck, and then you put like his little Stone Cold Steve Austin cowboy hat on. That would be great.
Phenomenal. I think we can work on something like that.
That's a good gimmick. So then you can tell the story like it wasn't me when they go to the tape in court. I don't know who that guy is.
I don't know who that is.
It's Hulk Hogan with his 10-inch cock.
Oh jeez.
Hulk Hogan's got a 10-inch dick.
Not to be mistaken with Terry Bollea.
Captain America. What was the gimmick here? Mr. America. It was Mr. America.
It's Thunder Lips, damn it.
So apparently my cat wanted in on the show. She just woke up from underneath the bed and decided to join me. So we'll talk about
wrestling. So Dusty has to come in.
Right, Dusty baby has to come out here. This is my cat Dusty. She's probably been on the show before, but say hello to the internet, Dusty. Hi. She's nonplussed to be here.
You just earned us 20 more views with that cat.
There you go. Cats are the thing on the internet, right? We could tag them and be like, oh, look, there was a cat in our episode. And then they'll be like, oh, look, that poor cat.
Oh, my God, the kitty.
And fans of Daddy and Tyson Kidd, they love us.
10-inch dick. Like, I'm sure this cat has heard enough about Hulk Hogan's 10-inch dick in the last week. Poor guy. Poor girl, rather. Because even though Dusty Baby is a female here, she was named in honor of Dusty Rhodes, but she's going to totally chew my headphone cable, so I'm going to put it down. What do we want to start with? Yeah, she wants to get something. Eric, what are we going to start with?
I don't know. I guess Roadblock, we could just briefly touch on it.
Roadblock was a decent wrestling show.
Roadhouse.
Need to happen. Roadhouse.
It was a house show.
Yeah, it was a taped house show that served no purpose.
And then, you got to remember also, they had a show somewhere else the same night too.
Yeah, that split the roster. Yeah, but there were no title changes. It was really the whole thing was to get Triple H a warm-up match, and then Monday Night with Ziggler was to get him a second warm-up match. Like that's really what they.
And they did a big tease with the whole Bray Wyatt Brock Lesnar thing. Wyatt didn't even get in the ring. I wouldn't even call it.
I have some disappointing news about Bray Wyatt.
I was gonna chime in with that.
So the rumor going around is that Bray Wyatt is actually hurt, and they didn't want him taking any bumps, and it does not necessarily sound like he's going to be involved much at WrestleMania. And
it seems a back injury, right?
Yeah, it has to do with his back, and that he's been plagued with injuries even back in NXT.
Well, he also, I don't know what the deal is, but he shoot like in his real life that wrist brace that he wears that out in public. I think he has some kind of this cat's going to turn off the computer. I think he has some kind of chronic wrist or hand issue that he needs to wear that brace in order to use it properly. So I think they have to find a different role for him. Maybe he needs to be the puppet master in the way that Vince McMahon was.
We just lost Charlie. He'll be back.
But you know what I mean? Like if he was more of a supernatural kind of like he was the boss and
right, like he still needs to be their talking point.
Yeah, he still needs to be their leader because nobody else can talk like him.
Yeah,
Parker's not terrible though.
I'm just wondering if he retired though, they would make him GM and then he'd be out and telling people they're going to go one-on-one with the Undertaker. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would expect if they retired Bray Wyatt. But
I mean, I'll tell you this: I didn't even watch Roadblock. I mean, I was out Saturday night anyway, and then I just haven't had a chance to watch it, and I wasn't going out of my way because again, another unnecessary Raw.
Yeah.
I did hear the matches were good. That Bray didn't even wrestle, but everything happened exactly the way you thought it was going to happen.
And
no surprises.
They Dusty finished Ambrose one more time, which every single time they do it makes him look like more and more of an asshole. Yeah. And I really like Ambrose, but it just makes him look like such a douchebag every time he loses in some weird way.
Yeah. Well, he's always losing.
Yeah,
he's the fall guy.
Dude, I swear, as soon as they set up for that elbow spot, I'm like, okay, well, this is the end of the match. He's gonna miss, jump in the ring. Triple H is gonna hit him with the pedigree, and he's gonna pin him, and there's no hope spot. There's no big comeback. There's nothing. It's
no
just
rock
fucking
run in or anything.
done. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened.
Last night on Raw with Roman Reigns waiting for Triple H to get the pin to come out.
See, that's the thing. It's just, in my opinion, you should have had Roman come in to save Dolph Ziggler, not come in at the end,
right?
Where, I mean, at this point, there is nothing you're going to be able to do to turn the crowd. They are going to boo Roman out of the building. Mania is going to be 100% behind Triple H, and they are going to boo the hell out of the whole building if Roman leaves as champion.
Listen, I got something I want to input on that real quick. Last year, I was fortunate. I was at Wrestlemania in San Francisco, and I watched Roman come out. Now, this is San Francisco. This is his hometown, technically, where he grew up at, did the whole deal. Because when the Usos came out, they got a huge pop. They got a Road Warrior pop.
Right.
And
oh, yeah.
Roman got fucking booed out of the building.
Right.
And that's his home.
Roman, the reaction in my section wasn't too bad until he started building momentum against Lesnar.
Oh, you were there?
But,
yeah, I was 100 section.
Fuck yeah.
I was when Cena came out and they did the singing, we started that. We started the, what you call it, the MMA, I'm drawing a blank on, Ronda Rousey. We started that shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You were at WrestleMania, but that's the changes too? That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. But my whole perspective on it was that they couldn't get him over there. They did everything they could. They had momentum. They had him got over. But Triple H comes out and does babyface shit when he beats him up, does the crotch chop, does all this bullshit. So all that work you did to get him back as a babyface, completely gone. Now you're in a position where what are you going to do? I personally think. I mean, I said the whole Sting theory to you guys a while ago. I mean, that's just me dreaming of something because I want to see Undertaker Sting just as a fan. But obviously, they're planning something big for Ziggler. I think from this whole deal because 2 weeks in a row Ziggler's been in the Authority's face, and obviously
and not
now.
Only that, but let's just, since you brought it up, that match was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, it was a great match.
Match of the night by far.
Vince McMahon brought up Dolph Ziggler a couple weeks ago, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I think you're right.
I think what they're going to do, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Ziggler is going to be the one that because here's the thing, you're not going to get, this is what not's going to happen. Shane's not winning, or excuse me, you're not going to have Shane win and a title change. You're going to get one of the two.
Yeah.
And I personally think that Shane's still winning Hell in a Cell. Triple H is keeping the title. And I think that Ziggler is going to cost Undertaker. Because now Ziggler has nothing for Mania because he doesn't have a match for Mania now.
Well, right.
Last night he lost. So
that's an interesting theory, actually.
You know, and maybe they're going to set him up where, and I know they want to go full steam ahead on Roman Reigns being a babyface, but maybe their contingency plan is Roman Reigns as the top heel, turn him at WrestleMania, and then his next big opponent, big babyface, Dolph Ziggler.
Well,
he's a good established name. He's a good hand.
Well, but the easy thing for them to do would be to turn Roman heel.
Yeah, and they don't want. They don't want to do it.
But that's going to turn Triple H.
But see,
why don't you just have
Triple H can turn respective, regardless.
Triple H be the opposing authority figure. Have him side with Shane.
Well, I personally think that you're going to get Triple H's heel on Raw that Monday. You're going to have Shane come out being the babyface. Stephanie goes bye-bye to SmackDown. You split the brands, and then Triple H is a champion there. And then Shane's going to give an opportunity to someone else, to go after the title.
How do you feel about a potential brand split? Because that's been the rumor, and I for one actually I'm for it. I like the whole draft, and I think that whole deal.
It would
If
be
you-
something different for a little while.
If you maintain the brands as separate entities, it would be interesting.
Yes. You've got to do it like they originally did it, if you only want to see this star, you have to tune in to Raw. You only want to see this star, you have to tune in to SmackDown.
Then you can bring back a traditional Survivor Series. 'Cause
Yes,
you
they
can
need
have
to go
SmackDown
all
versus
in
Raw.
and not half-ass it. Either all in or don't do it at all.
Right,
Don't do the thing where they were doing it where you had, if you were the tag champions, you could go on both brands, or if you were the world, you could go on both brands.
Well, see, and I'm okay with that too, because there should only be one set of both. I don't want them bringing back a SmackDown champion.
I don't like that
There
idea.
should be the champions. The champions can be on both shows, but there should only be one set of titles.
But the problem is but then how do you do a proper storyline? Because if you have a world champion on Raw and he's in a program with Ziggler, he goes to SmackDown, then he's in a program with The Miz. You know, I'm just saying, how do you properly develop a storyline from that where you have, you know, the champion in the double feud at the same time?
That's true. That's true.
I wouldn't mind having 2 world titles, but keeping one
I
tag
hate
title.
2 world titles. It makes no sense that 2
I
world
don't like
titles
that at all.
in the same promotion.
I'm with you.
I was
Makes
just
no
saying,
sense.
there was some good that came from it. I mean, look at Edge; he was able to main event some pay-per-views with the World Heavyweight. Undertaker was able to have a few more reigns with the World Heavyweight Championship. Kurt Angle.
Right, Mark Henry finally got his moment. Yeah,
There's some good.
I get
You just
that.
have to present both titles as.
But what happened at the end, by the end, was that like the world heavyweight title ended up being like a glorified mid-card title,
Yeah,
right.
and it meant shit, you know?
Right.
But that's the whole point of if you're doing 2 separate brands and maintain it, you would actually have 2 world titles that are on the same playing field.
I think at one point you just have to admit that one show is the A show, and one show is the B show, and the A show should have the world champion, and the B show should have the Intercontinental champion.
I mean, and my perspective, I never really understood the whole, like, if you're gonna do the brand split, why, you know, certain guys you're gonna keep on Raw just because of TV, of things or whatever. But the problem is everyone is always going to say Monday Night Raw is the flagship. But if I go back to when they did the brand splits, you actually had, when Paul Heyman was in charge, not on camera, but was actually in charge of the book for SmackDown.
Yeah.
They were doing a better product than Monday Night Raw.
The SmackDown 6.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
SmackDown 6.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he was doing it was doing a product that was better than Raw. I mean, I personally think that you should have 3. I mean, I personally think that they should bring three channels. I think they should bring NXT. I think you should have 3 different brands going at one time. NXT, you should have a SmackDown. You should have and that way you make the pay-per-views more special. Yeah, you're going to get a pay-per-view every month, but this month you're going to get a Raw pay-per-view. Next month you'll get a SmackDown pay-per-view, and you know, and make it more special.
But they don't have enough talent for each brand to keep it
Fresh.
I think if they start using the mid card guys and elevate somebody, they should.
Because you're right though. There are a lot of people that they don't use that they could end up using.
Just look at the NXT brand itself right now. The NXT brand itself has guys that should be on the main roster.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Finn Balor should be on Raw every Monday night. Samoa Joe should be on Raw every Monday night. I mean, it's what people want to see.
Yep.
It's because it's fresh. It's a new style. The one thing I didn't learn very much from this one guy in wrestling, but Abdul the Butcher did teach me one thing. Well, besides how to work your way to some free cigars everywhere you go, but that's one thing.
Did he teach you how to gig?
No, brother. You see my forehead, that's the first thing brother never will teach me. He did teach me. He taught me. He said, "Man, when you have something different and unique, be creative with it. Don't be in the box where you're zoned into the same thing. You know, that's what I've done with Gimmick Tree. We step out of the box and do shit that's people are I mean, this past week we've released like 3 or 4 projects that we're doing this year. I've been getting emails about like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, what? Like, you're doing what? Because you have to think outside of the box. You cannot get that tunnel vision in your life where you're like, I'm locked in on this. This is all that'll work.
Right.
And because in today's world, in today's society, wrestling is too accessible. I mean, as much as everyone loves the network for just $9.99, look how much wrestling you get. You get hours upon hours. Now you also got New Japan has their network. CMA and AAA is working a deal to have their own network. I mean, my God, and the NWA has the old school NWA territory has their stuff.
And Chikara has one, and High Spots has one, and WWN has all that shit online. You're right. Everything is streaming now.
It's fucking overloaded. Fucking overloaded. And I mean, it's like, okay, you do like I told Steve this today. Last week. Excuse me. I said I have more fun doing your guys' podcast than I do any other podcast. Because it's fun. It's not that. It's seriously the easiest podcast thing I do. I mean, I've been doing a couple more of them, and it's like, fuck, dude. It's like I was talking to a guy that has a national podcast and wanted me to come on there, and he was like, "Okay, these are what we're allowed to say. This is what we're supposed to do. This is what I need you to get over." And I'm like, motherfucker. I was like, what is a podcast? Supposed to be fun, man, because there's so many of them. You got to make your shit different and unique, right?
Absolutely.
So, you guys have a different and unique little swagger to you. Yes, we're not like you guys in the podcast. It's fun to come on here because it's just bullshitting with some friends. And, I mean, you know, when you have to sit here and constantly paint yourself into a corner, that's what happens with these guys. They paint themselves into a fucking corner. And WWE blew Roadblock. They had the opportunity to do so much cool shit coming out of Roadblock. I would have honestly gave Dean Ambrose the world title for 48 hours.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you come back out, Triple H gets the title back. You got WrestleMania all shook up. Everyone's like, okay, what's the title match now? It's an Ambrose and Lesnar? You know, what's the title match? Does Roman take on Dean Ambrose? And you take the title back off of him, you know, but see what they do is that they elevate it. You make it where it's not so predictable. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember years ago, you remember when Edge won the Intercontinental title at a house show in Canada? Just because it was in Canada and it was like...
And they did that with the FBI in Italy. They won the tag titles.
London and Kensington.
Exactly. It was not predicted. It was not predicted. It did not go as planned. You know, and that was the thing, man. If the fans are so fucking smart now, and as a booker, God, fucking, I love wrestling fans, but they're so fucking smart now. They'll sit there and they'll tell me everything's going to happen on Monday Night Raw, and it happens, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, you know what happens, great. So throw in some magic. Throw in,
You know what I would have done? You know what I would have done?
What's that, brother?
I would have had Dean Ambrose win the title. Everybody freak out, not know what to do. I would have the main event undecided going into WrestleMania. Keep everybody not know what the fuck is going to happen.
That's like Lex Luger, Bret Hart kind of deal.
Right,
Yeah.
but hold on. Here, watch where I'm going with this. You get to Mania, you have the Shane Undertaker match. Shane wins. Shane then comes out prior to the main event match. You have 2 matches left on the card that haven't happened yet. The title match, which you have no idea what's going to happen in Brock Lesnar's match. Shane McMahon comes out and says, I'm changing the main event because of what happened at Roadblock with Dean Ambrose. It's now a fatal 4-way. And throw all of them in there. Because that way, now you don't have to put the strap on Reigns. And
if you do, he pins anybody.
Right.
Hey, Steve, you know all I can say to that is, damn!
Right? But see, like, and nobody knows up until it's going to happen. You know what I mean? It would
Well,
be-
here's what you can take a note of, Steve, and I think everybody can take a note of this because I want to make sure my theory is correct. If they put the Hell in a Cell match on last, Roman's going over because they want you they want you to forget about Roman going over by the time they get to the Hell in a Cell match.
Probably.
Oh, that's true.
I think that's my guess. If they have the world title on last, I feel like Shane's losing, and you know what? I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna scratch that theory, but I think if the title goes on before the Hell in a Cell match, that they might do it and pull the trigger, and then you get the cool down match, and then the Hell in a Cell main event, and then by that time you're not as pissed off. But
I don't think Undertaker should lose, though. I think Brock
Neither do I.
Lesnar should be the only one who beat Undertaker at WrestleMania.
I mean, if The Undertaker loses, it definitely has to be because something happened.
something happens, which is why somebody I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Somebody proposed on Reddit or something that the world title match goes on before the Hell in a Cell. Reigns wins clean, and then the Shield reunites and helps Shane defeat the Undertaker. Which is one way out, because then everybody's ass is covered. Nobody boos Reigns because he's with the two guys that get the pops. Undertaker doesn't look like shit because he lost to a non-wrestler, and Shane's ass gets covered because he didn't have to do much because the Shield just triple powerbombed the Undertaker through a flaming coffin with barbed wire and thumbtacks and glass on it. I don't know. I'm just you know.
How about Mick Foley giving Dean Ambrose Barbie?
Okay, that's all you
Yes,
need to know about what WWE thinks about him. He is their Mick Foley. He's not going to be the world title guy. The Rock endorsed The Rock. Mick Foley endorsed Mick Foley. The Rock endorsed Reigns, so he's the new Rock. Mick Foley endorsed Ambrose. He's the new Mick. And Triple H is just Triple H because apparently he bathes in the blood of newborns or something.
All right. I'd like to say something real quick on all that.
Go for it.
Here's my theory on that. And this came out of the mouth of a late great wrestler, Dusty Rhodes. Baby, everybody got levels. And you got to have a level for this guy and a level for this guy. We can push that one guy that's on the mid-card level to the top. Never put him over the top. And that's what Dean Ambrose is. Dean Ambrose is your Kurt Hennig of this era. He's that guy you could put in there and have a world title match. Phenomenal, tear the house down, make you love him. Dean Ambrose can make you hate him. He proved that when he was in the Shield, and when it was he Shield. But Dean Ambrose is not that guy that you will build a company around. Not in the modern day of WWE, a public traded company. Nothing. I mean, if we're talking about CZW, we're talking about Gimmick Tree Entertainment, we're talking about an indie company. Yeah, you can build a fucking company around that guy.
Right.
But you can't build a company around a guy that has that look for the world title. No, don't get me wrong. God forbid he'll get a run. He'll get a, maybe a month run of world champion or something. He'll get that one opportunity, but he will never be the guy who's carrying the company into a Mania, because it comes down to the look. Look at the dress. Dean Ambrose goes on and makes appearances. I've seen Dean Ambrose make appearances, right? He wears the leather jacket, the whole, button shirt, T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose is Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
He showed up at WrestleMania. If you go back to Road to WrestleMania, look at the WWE film. They're seeing him coming in. Everyone else is in a tuxedo or suit. He's walking in jeans and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's because in Vince's mind, and I've had the opportunity to be in back of WWE things. It is not the way it was in the 80s. It is a publicly traded company. We have to have our champion that can go on ESPN, that can go and make appearances at Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's the reason John Cena is who the hell he is. John Cena, 20 years ago, would be nothing in our business. John Cena would have been a jobber in the late 90s. He would have been.
I don't know about that.
In the late night, he would have been a jobber in the late 90s. He would have been.
I'm talking about I'm talking about prior to the Attitude Era, right before the Attitude Era, right in the Monday Night Wars. He would have been a jobber. He would have been a Gilbert. He would have been a whoever, because of the catchphrases and the stupid rap gimmick and all that. But now you put John Cena in a suit and tie. The man looks like $1 million. He can go to China and represent your company.
And
he can go all over the world. Yeah, brother gets it. Brother knows. I mean, that's what this business is evolved to on that level. Is you got to be able to go into a corporate environment and say, "This is our champion." Because you think that Vince is going to walk into a public traded company, into a stockholders meeting, and he has to answer for every direction the company goes in. Yeah, we're putting the title on Dean Ambrose. And they're like, who? What?
Right. They don't know who Dean Ambrose is. Right.
But if you
it's going to happen though. Dean Ambrose is going to get his time.
Well, yeah, he'll get like.
What about Stone Cold Steve Austin? Because you never saw him in suits anywhere.
Yeah.
They weren't publicly traded then either.
I was
if you elevated Ambrose to how hard you were pushing Reigns, wouldn't you be able to put him on that level? And I'm sure if you went up to Ambrose and said, "Hey, you need to wear a suit, do this, and you're the face of the company," you would do it.
He doesn't strike me as the corporate type though either.
Okay, you know the reason Dean Ambrose will never ever wear the world title for more than a month or more than a couple weeks run is only thing a person in that public traded company has to do is go on the internet and Google Dean Ambrose CZW and watching him take a drill to someone's head.
Yeah, but if they Google Seth Rollins apartment wrestling, they're gonna find him oiled up with a bunch of homos. So and
yeah, well, but again, but that was like a theory of. That's just my theory of it being.
No, I get what you mean because they can show that footage with the Sawzall and the Weed Whacker and all that bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in a wrestling ring.
Right.
Yeah, not in an apartment doing gay wrestling or whatever fucking stuff wrong.
Right. But it's but yeah, you're right. It was in the confines, like you would see to an outsider.
Is that any worse than some of the stuff we've seen on Raw with the Kate Vick?
Right. I mean, they definitely pushed the envelope with some stuff.
And
it's the live sex show on Raw. I mean, yeah.
Oh, the live sex celebration. That was a fun time. That was a good time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Edge's heel run was some of the best shit ever.
Let me ask you guys a question. Everybody here was around for the Attitude Era. Era. What was everyone's favorite moment of the Attitude Era?
There's too many.
I can tell you my first Raw moment ever.
What was your first Raw moment?
Mick Foley winning the WWE title.
Oh, that was your first? Wow. My first Nitro was the 1-year celebration of the NWO, and it was a 3-hour show, and I was like, it's like Christmas. It's a heel Hulk Hogan with Diesel and Razor Ramon. It was so wonderful.
My first Raw was the very first Raw.
Wow. You
were at the very first Raw.
Did you watch it, or were you there live?
Oh, no, I wasn't there live. I watched it.
But you were, I was younger than you. I think I was several years younger than you, but
I watched the very first Raw, and I watched the very first Nitro.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
From the Mall of America.
Mall of America, where Lex Luger came out when he was on the fucking WWF pay-per-view the night before, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Right? It was a good time to be a wrestling fan. That shit does not happen anymore.
It was the best time to be a wrestling fan.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, so, you guys kind of painted the picture perfect right there. Look what Vince did there. Vince, when Raw first came out, Raw was outside of the box. Like, 93 Raw... Like when that first, it was different than anything that you'd seen on the USA Network. Because prior, you had that Superstar show, and you had whatever it was, Challenge or whatever it was, where they used to all sit around the table and talk and everything. It was different. It was out.
Yeah, that legend.
Primetime wrestling. Oh. Thank you. But then when Nitro came out, it was the same thing. It was different. It went outside of the box. That's my whole theory about if you go outside of the box and create something different, you're gonna get viewership. You got to create it different because people got to see something different, man. Everyone wants to recreate the wheel. They want something new, fresh every time.
Yeah. And you do, unfortunately, we as wrestling fans will see the cycle, whatever gimmick hasn't been used in the last 10 years, they'll bring it out, and we'll, everybody else is like, ooh, this is fresh and new, because they're like 12 years old, and then we'll be the old guys going, they did this back in 98 with friggin' whoever, you know what I mean?
It's so true, though.
So it's new for the new generation, but for us, then it loses a certain segment of the population because it's a repeated act. Like, can we just please ban all authority figures, period, in wrestling? It's done. It's been done.
God.
Yeah. I agree.
So,
Jack Tunney would show up, he'd strip the title, he'd make a tournament, that's it.
That kind of is there when you need someone to make a match.
Somebody with no personality, like Jack Tunney. Do
that. Whatever happened to Jack Tunney? Somebody Google that.
I think he's been dead for about 30 years, dude.
Jack Tunney looked like he was dying 30 years ago. He's got to be dead.
So, he's not. I swear to God, if that motherfucker's alive, I'm booking him July 30th.
Did I tell you what I wanted to do? I don't know if I ever told you guys this, and Charlie included, because I've only talked to him a couple times. I wanted to book at WrestleCon or on WrestleMania weekend a Saturday Night Wrestling that started at 6:05. And have Tony Schiavone be my announcer, and then only hire all old TBS, NWA, WCW guys to work the show.
Scott Hudson.
It would end with, of course, because it would be a WCW show, it would have to end with a big schmoz, the entire roster coming out and brawling, and then Tony Schiavone going, "This is the greatest night in the history of our sport! We'll see you on Thunder!" He would have to say it, and that would be the last thing, and we just lights out. That's the end of the show.
It would probably be better than a lot of shows that I'm gonna be forced to go to at WrestleCon, to be honest with you.
Oh no! Oh, we should. You know what? Let's hear story time, because we got
20 minutes left, so we got to get some story time.
We got to get story time in.
Oh Jesus Christ!
So let's set this up a little bit. Before we were on air, we discussed what 5 topics we were gonna go over, and then Charlie mentions that he had a phone call with somebody who's a wrestler, and I'm not going to get into who it is because I'm going to let him discuss that. But as soon as we heard what he said, Steve basically was like, no, shut up. And he's like, but I want to tell you. He's like, no, shut up. We're going to talk about this on the air. So that's pretty much what we did. If the floor is yours, Charles.
Oh, my God.
Armstrong, Gimmick Tree, if you have a story that you would like to tell today.
If you will, one time I'll pick you out the pay window. All right. Preference this. Now, you guys who don't follow me, I'm very easy to find. I'm on Facebook. Charlie Armstrong Hartman. I'm there. I put myself out as the face of Gimmick Tree because I live it. I breathe it. This is what I do. 16 hours, 17 hours a day. I don't stop. And I don't put myself. And here's the thing: I will never wear my world title. I will never come out and say, I am the Gimmick Tree World Heavyweight, or the Modern Revenge World Heavyweight Champion. I'm never going to put myself in an angle. But I put myself as the face of the company, meaning that I'm always on the grind doing stuff and getting innovative for us. And so I carry myself at a different level. I think a lot of promoters do, and I think you should. I think if you're a promoter of a company, you should be the face of your company. You should have the balls of swagger to walk in and say, I want this joint today, and I'm going to make sure it's done right. And so I have a different look at a lot of it, so keep this in mind. And we've had a lot of success in a very short time frame, and I'm very humble about all that. So I don't give my phone number out to a lot of people, but my phone number is on my Facebook page. So if you hating people want to call me, I'm there to say hello to you. But when someone calls me, usually they give me a proper introduction if I don't know you. Especially if it's an unknown number. A lot of times I don't answer unknown numbers, but I put myself out there, I answer every call I can. So the other day, my phone rang, ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling. So I'm like, and I didn't paint the picture to you guys that I didn't give you guys the best part. The best part of this call was, I live on the West Coast. For everybody who does not know, I live in Las Vegas. Yes, I live in Las Vegas and I run an East Coast company. I can tell you the story about that at another time. That's pointless. But the concept is that I live on the West Coast. So at 11 o'clock at night on the West Coast is 1 a.m. What is it? It's 1 a.m. or 2. Yeah, for East Coast time, it's what 2 a.m. Right? Yeah, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. East Coast time. So I'm sitting here. So it's 2 a.m. in the East Coast. My phone rings from a Florida number. I'm like, what the fuck's calling me from Florida at 2 o'clock in the morning? Knowing my luck, it's somebody that's wanting bail money. You know, in my life, somebody wants bail money.
Probably one of my friends too. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody in the business. I know that I'm their only call, so they decided to call me. So I answer the phone. I'm like, hello, and they're like, and the gentleman goes to tell me, hey man, how's it going? Like we're boys. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, who's this? And the gentleman said, this is Davey Richards. And I know I'm probably gonna get some heat for this, but I said, who? I said, who? What? What's going on?
He said it. That's a thing the man said.
And I was rubbing my eyes. I mean, this is. I'm trying to paint the picture for everybody to see because we have video. I'm rubbing my eyes. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, who? And he's like, Davey Richards. You know, ROH champ, Wolves. I'm like, oh, hey, brother, how's it going to you? And I'm like, no disrespect to Davey Richards at this point. Again, at this point. He says, oh, I hear you have a show in Wilmington July 30th. I contacted somebody, and they gave me your number. I said, well, who gave me your number? Oh, blank, and I'll keep the word blank, and I'll let everyone figure out who it is. Blank from, yeah, you guys know. Blank from TNA office gave me your number.
It's not very subtle. You just narrowed it down to like 15 people.
Again, I'm not saying names here, so blank gave me your number from the TNA office. And the first thing in my mind is like, why in the fuck is this dumb motherfucker giving my number to this asshole? That's the first thing that's coming to my mind. Because for you guys who don't know Davey Richards is a piece of shit.
Tell us how you really feel.
The brother thinks he's a shooter. He's a badass shooter. He's all this. He goes to promotions I know of. He's held up promoters saying that he's not going to go out there unless I get more money. That's the first. I wouldn't book you for nothing if you're the last tag team on earth because you did shit like that. 2, you've gone to promotions, took money from people, and went ahead and left the building before the show starts and kept the money.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that to me, you're the biggest piece of shit in the world because this shit is the hardest grind as a promoter that you will do. And if you honor your word as a promoter and you book yourself and you book someone and you pay them, and sometimes you got to pay them out of your pocket hoping it comes back either off ticket sales, sponsorships, or whatever. Be a man. It doesn't matter if there's 20 people there or 2,000 people. Go out there and do your job and perform. So already, I got no use for Davey Richards. I have no heat with his tag team partner. I don't know the dude, but I know Davey's the spokesman for the group. So, and anybody, and that's my only heat with his partner is that girl fucking backbone, and you call me. Don't have some piece of shit 5'6" asshole that thinks he's a shooter call me. And the conversation went that, hey, we're going to be in your area, and it would be great for you because you'll be lucky to have us on your show.
Well, that's a nice way of putting it.
I'll be lucky to have you on my show. That right there was, I politely said to you, I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you, but we're full up right now. And being a promoter, you can always squeeze another match in a show. I would never book them on my show. So I calmly say, I really appreciate the opportunity. Oh, well, I'm just letting you know you're blowing your opportunity because we really draw big money. Now keep this in mind. Hashtag, I went to the big event less than 2-3 weeks ago. They had nobody at their table the entire day. I watched their table be empty. WrestleCade, I watched their table be empty. Hashtag, you call somebody and I gotta ask who the fuck you are, you're not that valuable to me. So that was the end of the conversation. I appreciate you for your opportunity. Have a great day. Well, I'm just saying, we might, if we show up for somewhere else, I just don't want no heat. Okay, well, good luck with that. But I tell you what I will do. I'll give you the brother price if that'll help you, since you're just starting out. Well, I'm just starting out. I've been in the business since 1998. I got Hall of Fame friends. I've rode the roads with some of the coolest people in the business. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not a TV guy. That's been on ROH. I was ROH hero 10 years ago. And so basically, I just was like, yeah, he's going to give you the brother price. And his brother price was not a three-digit number. It was a 4-digit number. I won't say what his price was. I won't be disrespectful like that. But he wanted 4 digits to come in and work my show. So everybody knows it's over $1,000. There's no way in living hell that I would ever book you for $1,000 to come into my show. And I mean, I know what you make on Ring of Honor when you were there. I know what you make at Impact. You don't even make Impact, you don't get $1,000 a month. So you want to try to, you're the Wolves, you're going to come in and tear the house down. Okay, that was then the conversation. My next day, I literally called blank at TNA offices. Oh shit, I said TNA offices. That I probably just told you guys something. And I said, why in the fuck would you give my number to this guy? Not give me a preference that he's going to call and put me in a bad spot, because you put me in a bad spot, because even if I could have booked him, I'm not prepared to make a decision at that moment. And if anybody who's ever promoted out there knows how it goes, they want a decision made right then and there if you're going to book them or not. So you put me in a bad position where I have to either say yes or no. You don't, the right thing would have been was to call me, hey, Davey Richards and his partner are looking for a booking. Are you available? Or you want them up for that date? That's the smart thing to do, instead of being the troll, that asshole that he is, and he put me in that position. And, he's a real rider of pain in my ass. And that's all really needs to be said about who said it. I mean, Bob's Burgers was a great show last night, by the way, if anybody ever watched it. But, just keep that in mind. But the whole thing is professionalism. So,
I'm dead. Good night, everybody.
But so now, since I just completely buried that person, and got away with it legally, and I'm getting somebody waving at me, telling me no, I didn't. Yes, I did. Because I never said their name fully in content. That's what the law says if you're slander. So here's my perspective of that. Davey Richards, then, the person that's running against me a week before now is advertising Davey Richards and EC3 on their show. So,
I didn't know about EC3.
Yeah, apparently she added EC3 today too. So the person that's running against me a week before my show is basically booking every bit of TNA talent, and that's fine, because David Richards' comment was, well, you don't need to pay me till the day of the show. That basically means that person is banking on trying to bank out thousands of dollars. And it's probably not going to happen. It's going to be a tremendous loss for them, but that's here or there. But my perspective on this is, if you're going to be a professional in this business, don't call any booker, no matter what level they're on, and say, you would be lucky to have me on your show. You're calling me for work. I did not seek you out at all. So why would you do that? In common sense. I mean, would anybody here, most everybody here, Vince, you're in the business to certain levels on certain things you do up there. Would you call a promoter and say, hey, you'd be lucky to have Vince on the show?
No.
What do you think? I mean, seriously. I mean, and again, people have their own perspectives. I mean, I love to hear. Now, since I share Charlie's story time, everyone's perspective of that really quick.
Mm-hmm. It's very douchey.
It's I wouldn't do that if I was a worker. So
no matter who you are on what level, I would never do that and call someone and say and use those words. You'd be lucky that you don't do that. Doesn't matter what level you're on.
Yeah, and you're not all that to be talking that kind of shit. I mean, you work for a company that must be doing really well because all the rumors are it's up for sale again. So
he's not John fucking Cena,
Brother, I got
making those phone calls even.
Here's the funny thing. Ron Simmons calls me the other day and was like, hey, thank you for getting me booked on 2 shows, and is really humble. Ron Simmons, first African American heavyweight champion, WWE Hall of Famer, superstar college standout. I mean, great superstar during the Attitude Era. I mean, award after award, right? So, but a guy who is 5'6", who's got a chip on his shoulder because he can't ride the teacups at Disney World, that guy calls me and says I would be lucky to have him on my show.
Interesting.
That's just my perspective. You got a Hall of Famer, Jimmy Hart, who calls, hey, thank you, baby, for having me, man. I'd love to have you. Robbie E., who works with you, called me, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you and work for you. People that are your peers in this business and people that are above you call and are respectful, humble, and you call at 11 o'clock at night because you sound cracked out, like you're on crack. I mean, maybe they should have piss tested him instead of Kennedy, but for something. But that's a side note.
Shots fired. And on that note, we are at the top of the hour.
Oh man, we are. I mean, we.
Let me let you before I say that. All these words were officially said by Charlie Hartman with Gimmick Entertainment. Not Tag Me a Date. They had no affiliation with any statement I made during this statement.
Did you? So, Charlie, I have to ask. Did you get the Armstrong name because it was like the Me and Jake Manning, Man Scout, have the Jake tells this story a lot. He was an Armstrong for a while because he was red-haired and kind of stocky. And you know what I mean? He was like, oh, so you're an Armstrong. It was like he had a certain look, so he was an Armstrong. And then, like, if you had a certain look, they'd call you an Anderson. If you were thicker, you'd be an Anderson. So if you were slim and red-headed, you'd be an Armstrong in North Carolina. If you were more stocky, you were an Anderson.
Oh, love Jake, by the way. Fucking phenomenal guy.
He's the best. And happy birthday to him from a couple days ago.
Yeah, great guy, by the way. The Charlie Armstrong name actually came because obviously Charlie's my shoot first name,
right?
And I always loved the Armstrongs. I was a bad Smoky Mountain Mark, even though fuck you, Cornette.
Oh no, we'll hear that one next week.
I'll leave you guys with a teaser. I told Cornette at the big event, fuck you, Cornette, because. And he was like, because you're using Vince Russo. I was like, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you hate me because I'm using Vince Russo now a lot. And I'm not kissing your ass. But then the comment that Stan Lane made afterwards was epic. We'll save that for next week.
Excellent. A little teaser for next time. And really, Charlie, one of these days you'll bring on get a couple of your superstars. We'd love to have them on and promote your shows and talk about those guys as well, because if here's my theory is if the promoter is such a character, I'm assuming that the wrestlers are just as
brother, you ain't even opened chapter 1 of the book yet.
There we go. Man, this is excellent. So we have Charlie coming back next week. We have a lot of things going on. Steve, you want to give the hard sell for Tag Me a Date before we head out for the week?
Yeah, tagmeadate.com. Check it out. Everything is free currently. And there's a lot of updates, a lot of changes being made, a lot of more things to do, more people signing up. It's only growing and getting better, and with all the promotion and everything we got coming up, it's full steam ahead. So we're real excited.
Excellent. And, of course, you can check out the War Report every Tuesday night, baby, live on In Public, if you will, on YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I think if you're watching internationally, that might affect you, but if you're local, aside from, Arizona, you should be fine. 7 p.m. on the East Coast. All you got to do is go to youtube.com, type in Tag Me a Date in your search bar. That's Tag Me a Date, all one word, no spaces, TAGMEADATE, and you will see our page. You will see our archive shows. You will see our commercials from Amber O'Neil, from the Bullet Babe. Let's see, from JR, good old JR. We've got a lot of promos. We got Sherman, Mark Sherman and Jimmy Preston on there. Jimmy Preston's making his comeback in a couple weeks. So lots of stuff on the YouTube channel, archives of our shows. If you want to hear more from Charlie, he's on some of our archive shows. And Charlie, you want to give any plugs before we head out?
Yeah, follow me on Facebook, Charlie Armstrong Hartman. I'm there. Follow me. Send me your hate mail. Call me at 11 o'clock at night. Tell me that you'd be lucky to have you on the show. I mean, we're greatly to guys all. I mean, that's what we do here.
This is why we keep you around.
That's the reason they keep me around. Until next week, until when I hang the phone up and I have a certain person from TNA calling me, asking me why. He says I was a writer and I like Bob's Burgers. I mean, I don't know, why, an asshole like that'll call me and tell me not to use TNA talent without booking it directly through TNA, but he has the talent call me. But, anyway, side note, again.
One of these days he's going to be talking to us and he's going to get a dart in his neck, and then we're going to get a news flash that Nevada police are looking for Jeremy Borash running from Sam's Town Casino. And
Yeah, but the funny thing is, he would get there and he'd find out Dixie Carter canceled the flight because she didn't pay for it.
Oh, wow. And with that, we are the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com every Tuesday live on YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Wow, there's really nothing. You win that one. We can't follow that up. There's no follow-up.
You win the internet.
You do. You win all the internet points. We're going to play a message from Noelle Foley and Frank, the freaking WWE clown, on behalf of Tag Me a Date. We got to have them on the show one of these days, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank the Clown here, along with the beautiful Noelle Foley, and we are here in Pittsburgh to promote TagMeADate.com. What is TagMeADate.com, you ask? Let me tell you. It's a website for wrestling fans to come together and find love, like you and I found love via the internet. Because how did we begin to talk, Noelle? On Twitter. Twitter's a lovely place, but I'm telling you, if Tag Me a Date was around when I canoodled, we might have found each other on there. With that said, sign up on TagMeADate.com, and you'll be getting tagged in with dates left and right with fellow wrestling fans. You can sit and discuss the Royal Rumble. You can sit and discuss how you dislike Roman Reigns. You could talk about the gobbledygooker. You could talk about Noelle Foley's sweet little body.
Bye-bye.
We can talk about a cute clown.
You can talk about anything you want. You can meet people. TagMeADate.com.
Tag me a date.
Boom!